It's sequins and glitter time here at the Cannes Film Festival because Elton John has been here promoting his new film about his life, Rocketman. I'm going to go and meet the actress who plays his mum in the movie. She's been in some of the biggest blockbusters of our time, including Jurassic World, Spider-Man and the Twilight Saga. She's also the daughter of the Oscar-winning director Ron Howard, who I interviewed here last year at the Cannes Film Festival. Let's go meet Bryce Dallas Howard. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Congratulations on the film.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you've starred in some huge films, the Jurassic World films, Spider-Man, 2 Twilight movies. Why did you want to play Elton John's mum?
I mean, my goodness, it's Elton John is such an icon, obviously, and his songs were a part of my and a lot of my peers in my generation's childhood. You know, this was something that our parents were listening to, and it was kind of part of the fabric and the soundscape of our lives. And so to get to learn more about Elton John and just the individual he is, the courage that he had, the fact that he was a prodigy. I mean, all of these things I didn't know. You know, I loved his music without actually knowing his story. And so yeah, when Dexter Fletcher, the director of this movie, called and invited me to be a part of this, it was just, you know, honestly, it was an instant yes.
I could hear the whole tune in my head. It was all there, I could see all the notes, and I just had to get it out.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
What did you say your name was again?
My name is...
Reggie!
Reginald Dwight.
Reginald? That's my granddad's name.
What was it like watching this movie with Elton John in the room when you played his mum, someone who had a very difficult relationship?
Yeah. I mean, it's what's wonderful is that Elton is so he's warm and social and fun, and so yes, while last night was definitely very emotional, seeing the movie, premiering it here at Cannes, and literally hearing Elton's sobs like just a few seats down. You know, of course, that was surreal and meaningful. And afterwards, I wasn't quite sure, you know, kind of what the interaction would be like. And he just walked right up to me and he said, "Bitch." So, you know, I mean, it's like there's humor in it as well. You know, it's a very surreal thing. I imagine getting to see sort of your life told in this format.
Mum, my piano teacher thinks I'm good enough for a scholarship at the Royal Academy of Music.
The Royal Academy of Music? It has a nice ring to it. Royal. Scissors. What do you think?
The red one's good. It's only on Saturdays.
Things to do on weekends. Can't just drop everything.
I'll take you.
How did you work out who his mum was?
Working out Sheila, and more importantly for me, was really the dynamic between Sheila and Elton. For me, it was just important to understand what he felt, what it was like, you know, what happened, where the emotions were coming from, what had happened to her, because it did, their relationship ultimately was really, really, really dysfunctional and tragic.
It's a great film for Cannes because it's so glittery, it's so glamorous, the costumes are absolutely amazing. I've seen that you've actually been called the every woman's red carpet icon by Vanity Fair.
Oh my gosh.
Because you buy clothes off the rack. And I also saw on your Instagram that you've challenged yourself to exclusively dress in sort of vintage, secondhand clothes at the Cannes Film Festival this year. Talk about this pressure then of being on the red carpet, being a woman on the red carpet.
There is a version of reality where it's like, it feels like a lot of pressure to be on the red carpet. Especially for someone like me who's an introvert. I don't take a lot of pictures of myself. Like, I'm not someone that's like my comfort zone. While there's pressure, it's also an opportunity, and an opportunity to challenge yourself to be like, what do I want to wear? You know, who am I? What do I feel comfortable in? I've been looking at just my own carbon footprint and kind of what ways I'm potentially adding to the problem rather than the solution. I realized that if I just bought my clothes secondhand, someone else had worn it, you know, it existed in the world, and that, you know, that then afterwards, you know, I will probably turn around and reconsign a lot of these looks.
You were never ordinary.
I interviewed your dad last year at the Cannes Film Festival for Solo: A Star Wars Story. And you recently directed an episode of the Star Wars series, The Mandalorian. Were you inspired by your dad?
Oh yeah, always. I mean, my dad is really, he's still on a pedestal for me. I'm 38 years old, and he's like always going to be my hero, you know? He's a wonderful person. I mean, you've met him, so he's lovely, isn't he? Yeah.
So
he's
humble.
Really great. Yeah, and he's a wonderful teacher as well. And I'm like a hardcore student. Like, that is my favorite gear in life, is to just learn and learn and learn and learn and learn. He's the best.
And you grew up on some amazing film sets like Splash, Parenthood, Far and Away, Cocoon. What's your earliest memory of film?
Actually, my earliest memory of film was on the set of Cocoon, and I was putting on the alien mask, like the white alien masks, and I was putting it on over my face, and I remember being inside the mask, and I was definitely really young. I remember also putting on the tail of Madison from Splash. Probably my most vivid memories kicked in around Willow. I was 5-6 years old, and we filmed that in New Zealand and in the UK, and so that was a blast.
So last question, do you have a favourite Elton John song, and do you think you could sing it for us?
I promised myself that I'm not gonna sing any songs because I would be really nervous for today otherwise. But I mean, I definitely, without a question, it's I'm Still Standing. And other than the fact that that song is kind of encapsulates the journey that Elton goes on in Rocketman and in his life, it just happens to be a song that is in Sing, the movie Sing, that Taryn actually sang in the movie Sing, and my daughter. It was like one of the first songs that she kind of hooked into. She's 7 years old and just would sing nonstop, and like a song that we were encouraging her to sing nonstop. You know, it was really wonderful.
And the video was filmed here in Cannes.
Yes, yes, I just learned that actually. Yeah, that is very cool.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks.